Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm going to introduce Planxty Irwin, a tune that I assume many of you know because, well, it's so popular. But the challenge is if you don't know it, you need to know it. And so I haven't known it well, so I'm really introducing myself to it a little better. And it's a beautiful tune. We'll get into the history, but it was composed by Turlough O'Carolan. And so that'll be great. So hold your hats for the history section. What we'll do today is I'll introduce the tune standing so you can see my fingers as I play. It has an A part and a B part that repeat. And when I'll play the A part through once without the repeat so that you could see and learn that A part. And then I'll do the same for the B part. And then I'll, in the play along with Scott section, play through the entire tune so that you could play along with me and we can learn it well together. Remember, my commitment is that we learn the core of these tunes because I want you expressing and ornamenting the core of the tune, not someone else's ornamented version of a tune. That way we lose the core of the tune. So learn the core and then listen to other people playing it and choose how you want to ornament. We'll hold that for the ornamentation conversation. I will, as usual, provide a link at the top of the notes to this video so that you can access the page on my website from which to download the music and tabs for this great tune. So, for the A and the B part introduction, I'm going to use my busker low D because I love it and I'm still getting used to it. That makes this a little more challenging for me than playing it on my Howard low D that I am much more familiar with, but I really want to become more familiar with the busker. So here is the A part. Okay. So, I'll now play through the B part once. That's the B part. And if I played either of those too quickly for you to be able to see and learn it, then go up to that little cog at the top and slow me down a little bit. So if I went too fast, sorry about that. I'd now like to play through in the play along with Scott section the entire tune with repeats. I do this so that we can learn this tune better and better and better by playing it together. So, time to play with me, the whole tune. Oh, and I'm going to play it on my Shush Pro High D. And the reason I'm doing that is I get a few questions now and then from folks, well, you've played that on your low whistle, could you play it on the high whistle as well? And so I'm really just wanting to demonstrate that. I know when I share a practice session or play through something, I do both the low and a high quite often. But the low whistle is in the key of D. This high whistle is in the key of D, and that means you can play the exact same tune. You're just playing it in an octave different. So I'll now play through all of Planxty Irwin on my Shush Pro. So that's the whole tune. I'd like us to think through any challenges we're going to experience. I think there's the obvious challenge. If you were listening and if you've looked at the music or watching my fingers, yes, on the first part you're going to have to play up to that second octave G, and you're going to have to move into that gently from the beginning of the tune. So but that's just getting us started, because you get into the B part. You have to go up to the second octave A. That could be a challenge. I think the other challenge, though, is this tune is meant and intended to be at a moderate pace, just flow. So it's great to use to listen to your tone quality and note transitions. Okay, I think the note transitions and tone quality are more important for us to nail first than getting the ornamentation down. Now, as far as ornamentation goes, I think I just heard, because I played that kind of through some, and I'm going to play this tune in a day or two, and I'm leaning toward minimal orientation. So like I said, I'm thinking no excessive ornamentation. I've heard some people play it where they slid between every note, and it's nice, but it's a little overdone. So make sure you get a good blend in your ornamentation. And I'm thinking the flow of the tune dominates in this instance. A lot of tunes are just so fun, you've got to ornament every note. This one is meant to just let you relax. And so definitely some good ornamentation, but don't get too carried away with it. Thinking through the history of the tune. Edward Bunting included this tune in a 1798 publication, collection that he actually never published. And as far as the publication goes, he put it in his 1809 collection for piano. And as I said at the start, Turlough O'Carolan composed the tune. You may recall from earlier conversations that he was born in 1670, died in 1738. He was, at the age of 18, blinded after a severe smallpox infection, and he did not start learning to play the harp until after that. Oh, man. And turned out that he was just a natural musician with a pure gift for composition and poetry. And so that was just perfect for him. And so what he did was, like in his really, really early 20s, he started traveling around, and he would stay with a patron. And so he would play, he would compose, and he'd live with his patron who was taking care of him and providing for him at that time. And then what he would do is he would write a composition in honor of the family with whom he stayed, and he called it a Planxty. And so if you see a tune called Planxty something, it more than likely was written by Turlough O'Carolan in honor of someone that was a patron of his at one point. And so this one is called Planxty Irwin, and the most popular tradition says that Planxty Irwin was written in honor of Captain John Irwin, Uh, Donald O'Sullivan was probably the premier one to have discerned and confirmed this for us. He is like the main Turlough O'Carolan scholar, as far as I'm aware. And his feeling is that the tune was probably composed around 1713-ish, after Captain Irwin would have come back from Flanders in the wars. The Irwin family lived at Streamstown House in County Sligo, according to all the stories. And so O'Carolan would have written this to honor his patron. A little small monkey wrench in the works here is that there's a little evidence really stemming out of Bunting's first handwritten transcription of the tune that this was really composed to honor Kit Irwin, and people have dug into John Irwin's family and they can't find anyone with the name Kit or Catherine, and so they assume this might have been written for a different Irwin family in the similar area. I have no idea. However, I want it to be Captain John Irwin because there are some other great stories about his family from just after this time period that are really, really pleasant. We won't dive into those, except that there's some Irwin family who took care of Turlough O'Carolan, and he wrote this in honor of them. And it could well have been Captain John Irwin. So that's what we know. My friends, I hope you find delight in playing this beautiful tune. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling.